blonde-haired, blue-eyed individual to come from the clouds and save you. That same individual's been kicking your ass and killing you damn near since they jumped off the boat wherever they showed up. Now, the reason I wanted you to know about those brothers, and I hope you guys did what I asked you to do, because too many people listen to me talk and don't do what I asked them to do, and that pisses me off. You don't go do the research. You don't pull out your dictionaries. You don't look at the words I'm telling you so you can follow what I'm saying, okay? But I wanted you to look into those brothers so you could go, wait a minute, whoa, wow, hold up. These brothers were doing this? Giving people sight? Giving people back their hearing? Helping the lame to walk? You mean there's a brother that stopped an airplane in midair because the Vatican wanted him pushed out of it? You guys need to know that there are melanin-rich people that can do what you're expecting Jesus to come do for you. And if any, like my grandmother told me when I was coming up, and this is what made me a master of algebra and geometry and trigonometry. Because I'm going to tell you, I was going to an all-melanin-rich school, and I was struggling. I took Algebra 1 like 3 or 4 times. F, 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 F. That should have been an embarrassment to the ancestors who invented mathematics, by the way. But when I went to this all-European school, I still was having trouble getting it. And my grandmother said, because she used to be a teacher, she said, you know, all you have to do if you really want to know how to master a thing, when you're in this book, read the preface of the book. Go back and read the preface, and the writer of the book will tell you how to break their book down. When I did what she said and read the preface of the book, then I got it. And at one point, you know, there was a little thing that I got stuck on, and I got it. She got me a melanin-rich brother as my tutor, and in one sitting, that brother watched me do a problem, and he said, okay, so why did you do this part right here like this? And I said, well, because this. And he said, no, well, isn't it supposed to be this? And I was like, oh, wow. From that day forward, it was A. And trust me when I tell you, I went to George Washington High School in San Francisco, graduated from there in 1976. That was a predominantly what you call white school with a very large Chinese or Asian populace and almost no so-called black folks on campus, almost none. I was the only melanin-rich person in the class. And unfortunately for my classmates, this teacher graded on a curve. Those poor babies. I screwed up the curve every single time. I was just getting 100%, 100%, 100%. And because I blew the curve for everybody else wound up getting C's and B minus. Them people in that classroom couldn't stand me because I always messed up the curve for them. But it wasn't my problem. Once I understood, then I got it. And that's what I want you guys to understand about this power. I wanted you guys to see those brothers and get clarity on, you mean if it's been done by melanin-rich people? Because what my grandmother was trying to tell me was, if there is such a thing as getting an A, if anybody can get one and it's doable, you can do it too. You have 2 eyes and a brain that works and 2 arms and 2 legs, and everything works on you that works on them. So unless it's a thing where there's no such thing as getting an A, where no one can get one, then maybe you can't. But if anybody at all has the capacity to acquire an A, you have the capacity to acquire one as well. The same thing goes with this power. If there's any such thing as anybody that can do it, especially anybody melanin-rich that can do it, you can do it also, but you have to, 1, become aware that it's possible and that it's doable, and doable by melanin-rich people, and especially by brothers who've been led to believe that there's just nothing out here, nobody out here. I want my people to understand who you are, and I want you to understand what you're capable of. And I also want you to know that the people at the very top that keep misruling and misleading all the peons below them on some racial agenda, some skin color agenda, and some class agenda and monetary acquisition agenda, those people know precisely and exactly what you're capable of. Why? They have all your books. These agencies, the Smithsonian and the Vatican and the Carnegie Institute, these people have your information. They have your books. They have your stuff. They know who you are, and they know their people don't know who you are. That's why when our people walk into courts talking this nonsense and shutting stuff down, they make sure that everybody gets out of the courtroom, including the police and the DA and everybody else that's against you. They don't want them to know what's exactly going on. They don't want them to know what's the deal. So going on back into this power thing. There is something called kinetic energy, okay? Kinetic energy is energy in motion. That's why our people used to try to tell Europeans it's a science. It's science. That was what they were bringing out on that last episode, that episode of V, that one brother called me up and said, Yaffa, you need to see this episode of V, because he was a few hours up, so I was able to see it because it came on hours later. I don't even know what day that show comes on, but it was an episode where this extraterrestrial came to the Vatican and sat up with the Pope and his henchmen, and, you know, she was just performing all kind of miracles, and like, you know, just like you have the whole world following you and believing on you based on some kind of miracles, I can take all your power and have them following me using science. It's science, okay? But when we tried to show them science, like the science of bathing to get rid of illness, and the science of fire, and when I say we, I mean melanin-rich people, not necessarily Americans, because it wasn't us. It was melanin-rich people, though. But we were trying to show them science, and the European people that got it, they were like, oh, man, I'm cool with this. I'm down with it. When they went back and tried to show it to their people, it was like, oh, my God, witch. Some people got tortured to no extent because they were trying to bring their people something better. But anyway, as always, I'm digressing. Kinetic energy is energy in motion. A charge produces no magnetic field unless it is moving. And one of the things that moves energy is thought. A lot of people can't do better in the world because of stinking thinking. And the people ruling over you give you stinking thinking. They give it to you in all the Lion A media of books and music and television and movies and radio and comics and magazines. Pick a thing. They control the medium of media, or medium, which is media of information and data. Okay? So once you comprehend what energy is and how it works and moves and how you have your whole being in it, you live and breathe and walk and talk and move and exist in a whole sea of energy that you have the power to manipulate. Now, it goes on, a moving charge produces, now this is my research, these are my notes over the years, because the best way that I commit things to me is I do the reading, I pull the meat and potatoes out of a think, and then I write the stuff so that I can remember it. But a moving charge produces both an electric field and a magnetic field. A changing magnetic field produces an electric field. And everybody walking around here has their own personal, private electric field, and people call it an aura. Now, I don't know why they say it, but they say that kinetic energy is always positive. Maybe and maybe not, because when I see positive, I see the word positive. When you're posing, you're standing still and not moving. That's patriarchal. That's left-brained, too over logic, too over reasoning. But what I'm going to start showing you guys how to do is to bypass the conscious mind, which has a tendency to bully the subconscious mind into its submission, the way pale complexion males bully women and everyone else and melanin-rich people into doing things their way. But the unconscious mind or the subconscious mind or the superconscious mind, whatever you want to call it, is the most powerful of the mind or brain. And the melanin-rich entities are the most powerful of all the entities because it's easier for them to synchronize and quickly become one with the omniverse and the cosmic or the universe or the creator or whatever you want to call it. Now, if we're not able to resolve this, and fix this, melanin-rich people can always take the back door out of here because we have the power to, create new galaxies and cosmos, universes, and new planets. We can go. We don't have to be here. We're here holding the light, but if nobody wants to try to hold this light and make this work, then you can always bounce out the back door. You know what I'm saying? Just try to make sure that you don't find yourself having to come back here and being stuck here. Now, I know I'm talking over a lot of people's heads. Some people don't buy into this. They don't believe in power. Their whole thing is, oh, the power is with a gun. I got all the guns and I have all the power. The power is in the money. I have all the money and I have all the power. So they don't want to hear anything about spirituality. The people that are most disconnected from it are probably the people that are the most melanin deficient running around out here, or they haven't done any spiritual work whatsoever. And again, this to people are like, still, what does it have to do with restoring America? It has everything to do with restoring America because the Americas were a spiritual place. Now, things are composed of atoms, which are composed, like I said before, of mostly space, moving through space while they exert force on one another. Now, electrons are the most abundant. Remember I said most things are protons, neutrons, electrons, quarks, and space. Electrons are the most abundant and most important units of negative electricity, which I call no-gative, no bars, no gates, no doors, no blocks. They tend to flow from the no-gative through a conductor to the positive and then back again to the negative. Now, you have a lot of people running around that are AC, they're alternating current. Melanin-rich people are an alternating current. Bring energy in, transmute it, transmogrify it, kick it back out. Bring energy in, transmute it, transmogrify it, kick it back out. People that have lost their melanin, however they lost it, or refuse to get any because of their hatred of it, a lot of them are more DC, direct current. Energy has a tendency, especially if they haven't done any type of work, and unfortunately so many people spend so much time killing us off, they've done no work. It goes one way. It's direct, one way. So for those that are alternating current, or those that have done the work so that they can alternate current, that's what we're going to have to get into. Because the surging, the way that the electrons surge backward and forward, so many times per second, that number of times per second is known as the alternating current. Now, neutrons are about the same mass as a proton, but all electrical all are those are electrically neutral and have no electric charge, so they show no electrical effect. Protons are more massive units of positive electricity, and they move chaotically in all directions, but stay in the vicinity of one point. A positron is identical to an electron, except that it is positively charged. Protons and electrons are equal, but opposite in effect electrically. Positive particles repel positive particles, and negative particles repel negative particles, all right? Now, I know people are like, where in the blazes is she going with this stuff? Because I guarantee you I probably lost a lot of you guys, but I don't want to start showing you how to transfer thought and use telepathy or astral project or build your aura and change the auric colors and make yourself invisible so you get out here doing dumb, stupid stuff, because I'll be responsible. You know what I'm saying? In other words, I don't want to teach you how to do astral projection, and I'm telling you how